Hey guys, welcome back. We're gonna be doing some DBD. They added a lot of, I don't know, a lot from. And today I thought I had this nice little video idea. Um, two perks that I think are underrated in interactions that people don't really realize. So I thought we would talk about it. It might be, what do you mean? I mean perk interactions that people don't really expect. So these perks have interesting interactions with each other. And basically things you don't know about killer perks. Basically is the idea. And today we're going to be using a perk that I don't really get to use very often, but I thought I would show it off. We're going to be doing the Spirit today because Spirit is a killer that I'm trying to be better at. She's one of the killers that I'm not really good at, so I'm kind of wanting to play her just to have some fun. Basically, that's it. I'm just gonna have fun with her. I'm not gonna be really like playing her to sweat my balls off with her. She's just gonna be like the killer that I'm just gonna play to have fun. So here are two perk combos that we're gonna be running today that people might not understand how these work. There's three combos I want to go over. One is Pain Resonance. Pain Resonance is used to combo with Dead Man Switch. Now, everyone's like, oh, but Dead Man Switch is so popular. Well, there is a perk in the game that people don't really realize how good it is with Pain Resonance, and that is Surveillance. Surveillance is a very unique perk, and that people don't really understand this perk at all. So I thought I would go over it today. I'm also going to be leveling up the twins because, well, twins. I need to get the twins up so I can play them. You might be wondering why I'm saying what I'm saying. Actually, I think if I can get twins, at least 3 perk slots, I might be able to do the build. Like, I can use the 3 perks, I want to use, and yes, I can. They'll all be tier 1, but I'm going to show you that even the tier 1 is still pretty good. Just to show you. And then for the second game, we'll use another perk combo that I think is really good. And they're all 3 perk combos too, which is kind of hilarious to me. So let's use the first one. So again, Pain Resonance and Surveillance. Now you may all be wondering what those perks actually do. And that's where we go into... If you don't know what Surveillance does, basically when a gen is kicked, it turns it into white aura. But if a survivor touches it, it turns into yellow aura, which basically lets you know, and also noises generated by general repairs are also audible for you. This isn't as important. It's the first effect that's important. Because, if you don't know how Dead Man Switch and Pain Resonance work, Dead Man Switch basically blocks gens when they let go of the gen. Pain Resonance blows up the gen, which if a survivor blows up the gen is knocked off. They're knocked off the generator. What does this mean for perks like Pain Resonance? Since this gen forces other gens to instantly lose the progress and start to regress, so when survivors are on a gen, it knocks them off. Since it counts as regressing, the perk Surveillance will activate on the gen when the survivor is knocked off, but since the survivor immediately touches it, it turns yellow. Therefore, you'll know which gen they're working on, because you can... Basically, Pain Resonance will make them scream, but it doesn't say who this... It basically doesn't see their... Basically how Pain Resonance work, you'll hear them scream, but you don't know where they are. You just know what survivor who was on the gen screen. But that's where Surveillance comes in. Where now you know exactly what gen they were working on with Surveillance on. People don't really know this combo yet, which is actually a really strong combo. And any gens that you did hook with Pain will just turn white, and you'll know exactly when survivors are going to touch it. I just thought this was an interesting perk, and people don't really use it. Surveillance is a very underrated killer perk. Because it works with perks that just automatically regress other gens. Surge is another example. I believe Surge would also work with Pain, or Joel would also work with surveillance. This is the same idea. When you down a survivor, that gen will explode, and if the survivor is working on it, will turn white. Or turn yellow. Because the survivor retouched it. So yeah, surveillance is really awesome. I think this combo is very underrated, no one really uses it. But it's basically the free, I know where survivor is and I will go to them build. And you have pain resonance too to give anti-regression a little. To that gen to maybe stop it. You can kick it with like another anti-gen perk like Call O'Brien. And then Rancor. Rancor got huge buff in the most recent update. If you don't know what Rancor does, this perk works with Victor, I believe. Because Victor can't see orbs, but I think he can see locations. So I think Rancor does work. I don't think Infectious Fright works on him, but I think Rancor does. I think. I could be wrong on that. But even if it doesn't, Rancor is still amazing, because people don't realize this perk now works if you kick hatch. So it means that if you kick a hatch and the obsession's left, you can straight out Mori them. You can insta down and Mori. It's actually kind of insane now. Like, this perk is actually really good now. I think this perk is very decent. Considering if you like, I think this perk will be good on Huntress. Considering they like to use Bitter Murmur a lot, and Bitter Murmur may provide a bit more ore reading. However, Rancor is a bit better on a killer like Huntress, because just seeing their location allows Huntress to just find survivors quickly, and this perk is going to be amazing, I think. Like, with killers who have hard time finding other survivors, Rancor is going to be great. Because trust me, people don't know about Rancor. Like, people don't use this perk, so not many people understand what it does, and you can catch a lot of people off guard. And everyone's like, oh, you can, the obsession can see you. A lot of the killers have undetectable, or even the twins, like, that doesn't do anything, because Charlotte is AFK. Who cares if you can see him? It's literally AFK. You don't know it because she's with Victor. Like, everyone knows it. So it doesn't really matter. I just want to show that out. I was gonna do Spirit, but you know what? We'll do Twins. Because I want to show this build even at tier 1, because I feel like, and Rancor is a perk that really doesn't have much, like, difference. The only difference with this perk is how long the obsession can see you. That's really it. But everything else is the same. Which is awesome. Because I think Rancor is very good even at tier 1. But yeah, we're gonna do some twins. Because I don't play with twins much on the channel, and I thought, instead of doing Spirit, I'll do twins. Because I wanna show you how strong Twins actually is. Twins is considered one of the strongest killers in the entire game. No one can disagree Twins are the strongest gun in the game. That's why they've been nerfed so many times. Because of how consistent they are. And this guy, I don't know what his problem was. I'm like, dude, do you not understand that Spirit is not as strong as you think she is? I'm sorry, but even at high-ranked players now can counter Spirit around pallets. It's literally like, she's not very good around pallets anymore. She's good at chain hitting, which in tournaments, a lot of maps aren't built, like, for chaining. They're meant to, like, you're supposed to run to the next tile, and that's the problem. Spirit, that's what Spirit's good at. She's like Blight, in the sense that she's good at hitting hits in between tiles, not on towers anymore. Like Spirit can obviously do some cool mind games with the extra speed. Obviously, like, she can do some things, but it's very situational, and good survivors will just play super safe. Which is why Spirit, like, they'll just sit at the pallet instead of looping it. Because they know that the Spirit can literally just outrun you. Again, Spirit is a very complicated killer, just because she's not good at pallets anymore. Which is she's okay at pallets. Like, unsafe pallets, she can just completely destroy. But if it's a very safe pallet, yeah, no. She's not going to hit the hit like she used to. So she's a bit weaker in that sense. But she is better at getting hits in between tiles now. Because even if you know the fucking Spirit's coming, you can't fucking stop it. Like, that's the whole point. She phases after you break the pallet. Like Blight. Like, you know the Blight's coming, but can you really stop it? The answer is no. And since Spirit's even worse because you don't know, like, you'll know her general direction, but you don't know which way she's going. She could go from the left side or the right side. There's no really, like, indicator on what side she's coming from at that point. And everyone's like, oh, Spirit's used in tournaments. I'm like, Yeah, twins are more used in tournaments. Why? Because of how consistent they are. You have to the guy needs to understand that twins have been nerfed so many times because of tournaments. Because in a tournament setting, they're not allowed to use 4 unbreakables. They're only allowed to use at least 1 unbreakable with 1 soul guard. That means that 2 out of the 4 survivors, and even then, if they don't have a hex, then soul guard's useless. But twins is really strong in tournaments because of the conditions. Sloppy Butcher is not banned in that, and Sloppy Butcher is literally her main perk. The reason why is because people with twins are okay at getting M1s. You can get M1s as fucking twins. It's called an unsafe palette. A lot of good players will tell you that's how you play twins. You injure everyone and you just down them all with Victor. And with Sloppy Butcher being in the game, that's why the new Shattered Hope perk is used a lot on twins. Because what people do with twins is they run Sloppy Butcher, Shattered Hope, with 2 other perks, mostly information perks. Or maybe some type of gen sled on early, like Corrupt. Basically what they do is they injure everyone, and if they have boons, you just Shatter Hope it, so that you don't have it anymore. You bring Sloppy Butcher, you could bring Franklin's or Overwhelming Franklin's to stop medkits. And then since in a tournament setting, they're not allowed to bring 4 unbreakables, you lose automatically against twins. Because again, twins, what makes twins so strong is, what are the 2 things twins are good against? Slugging and camping. That's literally the 2 best things, that's what twins are good for. That's literally how strong twins are. Twins are amazing at slugging, and so are camping. And tunneling people. Which is how you beat tournament players. That's exactly what tournament killers do. That's why twins have been nerfed so many times, because even their best add-ons are literally common add-ons. Literally, their best add-ons are literally common add-ons. That's why they've been nerfed so much. Twins have been nerfed so many times. Why? Because of how consistent they are. It's also the fact they're consistent. And there's nothing you can do against Victors. You literally have to... The only way to beat Victor in twins, if you play in teams of 2. The reason why is, if you go across the map and there's 2 survivors, when the one guy goes down, you kick Victor immediately. You just kick Victor and then heal the guy. The twin has to go all the way across the map to go get you. And tournament teams are more coordinated to do that. However, good twin players also know this. So they'll make sure to spread damage, or they'll actually just play her with like Enduring or some type of chase perk. So they don't have to rely on Victor all the time. They can down multiple survivors at once. And prevent that whole strategy. A lot of good players will tell you that's how you counter twins. I know how to counter twins as someone who mains killer. And I don't even play this killer. Like, I know her main strategy. You just tunnel the same guy and you camp. Camping is a whole other thing because it's hard to camp with them because, again, Victor. Like right here, slugging is literally the best option for twins. And with map designs being, like, map designs are designed so that killers like the twins can get hits, right? Like, their M1 based killers can get hits a lot more easily. This includes, so think about this. The twins, since maps are more designed to get hits, right? Killers like the twins are more likely to get hits now because of the whole, twins. Twins are more likely to get hits with the way the maps are. Which is the whole point. Like, since the map designs are designed for killers like the twins to get more hits on maps. So, what I mean by that is that since the palettes are more playable for M1 based killers, like Twin, like for Charlotte, not for Victor, Charlotte, that means that you can kind of play her as an M1 based killer. The only difference... Oops. I completely whiffed. Don't. I can't use Charlotte. Because of the hook. The reason why I'm not unbinding, because I don't need to. Look at the map. This map sucks for M1 base. Like, this map is super easy for M1 base killers. Like, so like you don't need to use Victor. Victor is only really good against like super strong maps that have super strong pilots, like the game, for example. That's where you want to use Victor. I'm gonna kick these gens with surveillance. No wooden survivor touchies. But yeah, surveillance is really good for just information. Like, I'm gonna kick all these with surveillance, and I'm gonna unbind. I don't know this map, so sorry. Found another bug, I guess. I'm not surprised that Victor's bugged. You see how far I am away from all the survivors who are down? That's the entire reason why twins are aren't very good. Because they take a while to get to people. Yeah, I knew they were on that gen. But I know there's another survivor. This is a hook, because there's no reason to slug. He dropped. Where's Victor anyway? I'm gonna try to unbind. I can't because of the fucking well, GG. Hey guys, what did I say how strong twins were? What was the two things I said how strong they were? What was the two things? Slugging and camping. I just won this game. Mind you, I don't play this fucking killer. I just want to point this out. I don't have many hours on these twins. I have everyone on hooks. I'm just saying. That guy, by the way, called me a bad killer. Look what I just did as fucking twins. Just because of my game sense. By the way, I didn't use my ears. Not even once. I just used my brain. For those chases. I didn't use my ears to listen. Yeah, that guy was also saying that you need to use your ears as killer. I didn't use my ears at all during any of those chases. I didn't use my ears. I used my brain and my eyesight. Yeah, that's twins. That's how you play fucking twins. Right there. They did 2 generators and they got 4K'd. Now, obviously, they don't have, like, unbreakable and on second chance perks, but still. I played smart. That's how you play smart. I don't know what that tat was doing. I mean, that Rancor also came in handy, because I knew that the survivor sat there, so I kind of understood that he was going to just go and heal right there. Or he was going to sit right there, and then I could just switch to Victor. Because I'm far enough away from all the hooks, I can just switch to Victor and down that 4th guy, because they're doing Gens 1 injured. Oh, I won't know why they all run Sloppy Butcher on this killer. Oh, I won't know why. I told you, people underestimate how strong twins are. Twins are literally insane. Like, right there is one of the reasons why, even on the fucking largest map on DVD, and the twins still fucking destroyed. I mean, actually, that's not the largest map. Well, it kind of is. I mean, it's still pretty big. It's not as large as, what's it called, but, Red Forest, but it's pretty close. It's a little bit smaller now. Alright, we'll use another build that's underrated in my opinion. The Pop Oppression combo. Oppression, Surveillance, Pop. So, yeah, Surveillance is featured in both. Because again, Surveillance is a really strong tracking perk in my opinion. And these 3 is like Rune Undying Tinker. But more consistent. They're not as strong. Especially with Pot's most recent nerf. You could probably run this with Call O'Brien too. But I think Pop is just generally better than Call O'Brien in this type of build because you already have Surveillance. You could run Call O'Brien instead of Surveillance. Like, yeah, that is an option. But I think Surveillance just works better with Oppression because, again, you get the same effect as Rune. You get the same effect as Rune Undying, or the Rune with Surveillance. It's the same effect. Like, Rune and Surveillance used to be a very strong combo back when Rune first got its rework. Like, everyone ran Rune and Surveillance for a couple of days, and then, like, it kind of just died out. But this, like, Oppression and Surveillance is the same, like, kind of counterplay. Like, it does the same type of, like, style, I guess. It does the same thing. Where it just allows you to track multiple gens at the same time and the rest of them. Basically. And then you got Pop, which allows you to individually kick a strong one. So, like, if you need to kick a certain gen that's, like, mostly done, you can kick it with Pop to regress it down. Kind of like what Rune does. So basically what this build did is you would kick gens with Oppression and Surveillance to try to get information and to make sure multiple gens are regressing at once. So you have map-wide pressure. This is very strong on mobile killers. And then you have Pop, which allows you could use this on a hot mobile killer like Blight. You would dash to the gen, then kick it with Pop. The reason why you kick it with Pop is because you want to go to a gen. You could do this combo without, like, Oppression up. The reason why you kick it with Pop is because you save Pop for most gens. Like, gens that are extremely done, or close to being done. That's where you go over there, kick it with Pop, regress it down, and then rinse and repeat. And with Oppression allows you to keep multiple gens regressing at a time. So, this perk is actually good for killers who aren't very mobile. Trapper is a good example of this. Trapper can get map-wide regression without having to go out of his way to do it. Like, unlike old Ruin. Like, the thing about Ruin is Ruin relies on you knocking survivors off. So killers like Trapper, Clown, Hag can't do that. Oppression can. Because because if someone's on the gen, they get a skill check. Which means they may fail it. They may not fail it, but they may. We'll give you info. And regress the generator even more. And slow it down. And in other gens that aren't being worked on, if you have a lot of pressure, let's say you're a mobile killer like Blay and you're getting constant downs, or like what happened with the twin game, where I had constant downs, I kicked the gen with oppression, multiple gens are now kicked, regressing, and under surveillance. So I know what gens, and if they go back on a gen, like I knew upstairs the gen was being worked on because I kicked it earlier and now it's red, which means someone's on it. Because the gen only turns red if someone either touches it and then the yellow goes away, or it fully regress. And I know for a fact that did not fully regress, because I don't have perks that regress gens really fast. It's just default. So I know for sure someone's on it. I was actually thinking of going up there to go and kick it again. Or push that guy off. But I didn't need to. They did it for me. They just popped it. And I knew that, and the guy went all the way around to the right. And dropped down the hole. Which means he just went right into me. Because I was hooking that guy and that hook. I wish that was a scourge hook. That would have been even better. But it wasn't a scourge hook. That was just a normal hook. And then that third gen, he popped it. So basically I got free tons of value. Because Rancor told me that he was sitting in that middle section. And he was gonna... So I could have just gone over there, down him, and then switch to Victor, which I had placed near the hooks. So when the injured Steve goes for the save, he gets downed. That's what happened. Same thing, and I 4K'd. Just like that. Decision making. At its finest. I told you that. And trust me, So yeah, dude. That guy, I'm like, dude, I'm tournament killer. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm definitely tournament. I used to be in tournaments. Why? Because of my decision making. It's not, you don't have to be the amazing killer in Chase to be a tournament. You don't need to use your ears to be in a tournament. Use your brain. I get rank 1 every season as killer. Why? Because I'm a high rank killer who pays attention. I'm smart. I want to go with my bow, but I'm actually pretty good at... This guy's dead. And I know this guy went back to work on the gen. I'm just latching on to give me some value. I should be kicking that with... And I don't have to worry about pain resonance because I don't have pain resonance. But yeah, I injured him. That guy had to go heal. Now I can go and get some pop on this gen and get some oppression on other gens. And surveillance. See, I knew that they were working on that middle gen now. They were working on that middle gen. Now I know which gen they were kind of on before. And I know when they go and touch it. And that gen's also monitored. Ooh, balanced landing. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. There's no paladin. Don't know why you did that, but... They're gonna go touch that gen. Over there. Or not, they didn't even go do... They're not doing that gen. They're probably gonna do that gen over there to the right. Or they're hooked. Nope, they now went back on that gen. Which is also what I kind of expected. They just didn't go right back on it right away when they should have. but I kind of assumed it's what they would. This guy is probably on this gen too. Wow, he's not. Then he went. They both went on this one, I think. That was an aggressive lunge. Oh, so how did that connect? Do you know I'm right? Like, do you not understand how Victor works? This guy actually, that is smart. Technically speaking, that's a smart play. That's only smart if the guy is like 10 millimeters away. You might be asking of why that's a smart play. It's because against a good twins, if I'm across the map, I can't reach them in time. And I know what gens they're working on. They're working on that one, Oh, you could do. I'm gonna kick this. Semi worth it. What I can do. This main building is a very common area to loot. So what I can do is put Victor early. So if they go to that main building, let's say they're injured or whatever, because I find them. I wanna mind game this. Never mind. She has balanced landing, she's gonna get a lot of distance. I really should not be chasing her, but she might be leading me to friends that I can go and hit her. So it's not. Are you seriously gonna team back the twins? Hi! You're not playing against a fucking dumb twins. You're playing against an actual smart player. Who pays attention to how survivors play. What's up? What's up, dude? You want teabag again? This guy had probably no idea what I was doing. He's probably so confused. He's like, wait, there's twins. And I got multiple gens regressing right now. They're right here. Yeah. I don't think I've seen this guy yet. Is that Nancy? That is a Nancy. Hello. What? Dudes. Look how much pressure I have right now. No one's on gens, which is good for me. As a killer, that's really good for me. That no one's on a gen right now. think that was head on. But... So how are we feeling, Zarina? How are we feeling? Again, I'm smart. I'm a smart killer. I'm not dumb. I specifically put Victor in a position where I can switch too quickly, if I generally need to. The thing with killer, I think twins, people don't really know how to play twins yet. So a good idea is to put twins in an area you think survivors want to go, and you can kind of just like insta-switch to him. Like you can kind of, like if they don't kick him. The thing is though, you can switch anytime you want. Right? That's the thing. You can switch to him anytime you want. So if they go near him and they try to kick him, yeah, he wants to go on top of the hill. So I kind of figured he would try to run. He's gonna go the quick way. So I'm gonna. And yeah, he gets kind of far, but this is a lost game for them. So this is an easy game. So yeah, remember you teabagging me earlier? How are we feeling? Yeah, you're not going against normal baby twins. You're going against a rank 1 twins. Yeah, I kind of figured they were gonna be on this shit. I think that was Lithe, actually. A cool idea, too, if you're playing twins, if you're not using Victor right away, what you can do is loop a pallet and then drop it. When they drop it, that's when you go Victor. Oops. So that was a good side swipe at the end there. Wait, what? I'm not confident because, well, welcome to twins. I'm not confident in my ability to hit it because it's console. So I'm just playing safe. That's how you play twins. You just play safe. If you're gonna use Victor to hit people, just try to play safe. Guaranteed to hit. It's like Billy, just guaranteed to hit. That's why Victor can be kind of broken, to be honest, because you can just hold it for long periods of time, and there's not much the guy can do. One of the complaints I have with Victor or the twins, but I'm running no add-ons. So just like I want to like stress that I'm running literally no add-ons. Did you actually just do this, Jen, instead of saving your teammate? I told you, just like people don't do this with twins, and I don't know why. Like you can do so much like fancy stuff like that, where you can just like, it's like playing like Hag or Trapper, but with the fucking Victor. Or you put it in the you put it prematurely, where you think the survivor's gonna try to run to, then you can just switch instantly and go hi, bye, and then just kill them outright. Like, I wish that was more like a viable strat for twins. Like, I wish more people would play that with the twins. That would be kind of like an awesome idea if they kind of like, if they can promote that strategy a lot more for twins, because I feel like that would be a lot more fun to even to play against, because it's like you try to zone the survivor towards Victor, and then you switch instantly down them. You know what I mean? Like, that would be a lot more fun. I think for both sides too. Like, I think it'd be a lot more fun to. But there you go. Big brains twins. Yeah, Zarina. How are we feeling? His name is I Don't Care, and he teabagged. And there you go. Yeah, and Twins is a weak killer, by the way. Yeah, according to this guy, Twins is in a fucking tournament style killer. Like, do you not understand why people run Twins, right? Like, trust me, Twins are more stronger than people give them credit for. Those survivors weren't really great in chase. But still, it didn't matter. Like, again, survivors make mistakes, so you just need to punish those mistakes. And that's where Twins become very strong, because they can punish positioning and... Munger, I'm running 3 perks. I mean, they're not running the craziest meta stuff, which I'm kind of happy they aren't, because it's more fun to face people who aren't running, like, super meta. But, yeah. Again, I literally just... Like, that Zarina got literally outplayed. Like, she literally was like, yeah, we're gonna teabag. She goes to the main building, gets fucking killed. Because all I had to do was switch instantly. That's the thing about that is, unlike other, you don't have to wait for Victor unbind. You can just switch and immediately go for it. It makes Victor kind of like a trap kind of thing. And everyone's like, oh, but you can just kick Victor. Yeah, if they go to kick him, you can just switch back and hit them in the face. And jump on them. And that's just free map pressure. Like, if they want to do that, go ahead. At that point, that's just free map pressure for you. Like, like that's just, you just jump on them for free and then you down, like, and they get injured. That's good for you. Because you get Victor within like 8 seconds. And then you can do it again. And that's just like that's the thing. It's like, it's like, what did he call it on Trapper? The Bloody Coil or something? I think it's Bloody Coil. Or if you disarm a trap, you get injured. That's basically what it is. Except, unlike Bloody Coil, if you're injured and you do it, you're down. I told you, Twins, in my opinion, are probably the most underrated killer in the entire game. And Oppression is very underrated too. Like, you guys don't understand how good Surveillance is in Oppression. Like, you don't really, you guys don't understand how good, people don't understand how good Twins actually are. Dude, I ran no add-ons, by the way. I just want to point that out for a minute. I ran no add-ons on Twins, and I'm running 3 perks. And like, I have no anti-gen perks early game. I have nothing to slow down the early game. And I still won. In both games. Like, I want to point that out. Oh yeah, by the way, if that guy's watching, yeah, I have Pain Resonance. I have Artist. I have Pain Resonance. Teachable. On everyone. So yeah, if you're complaining, like you were talking about how I was spawning, yeah, I also have No Way Out. And NOED, and Agitation, and almost every meta perk you can think of. If I was on my main account, it'd be even worse, because I have every killer P350. Yeah, I don't think this guy understands that. If you look on my, like, recent video, like, with Spirit, my old video, you can clearly see that I have every single killer up to that point was P350. Oh, the Nemesis, because I didn't have one. Now I do. But, if I was on my main account and I had, you know, work during that time, yes, I would have probably him P350 as well. I'm just saying, I had barbecue and chili on everyone too. I ran literally the most, like, I had every meta perk available. I don't run them, because again, I don't like running meta perks. I don't think that guy understood that I don't run meta perks. I just run whatever I feel like running at the time. Because I just want to. That's how I play killer in general. I run whatever I feel like running. That's why I run Pop so much, because I generally just like Pop's idea. Pop Goes the Weasel, in my opinion, is not an overpowered perk that everyone called it out to be. In my opinion, Pop is probably the one perk that was probably the most balanced of all the anti-gen perks in the entire game. There is not one anti-gen perk that wasn't more balanced than Pop was. Everyone's like, what are you talking about? Well, hey, guy, let me do some math for you. If you don't think I'm a tournament-style killer and have 7k hours, let me do a bit of math for you. Pop Goes the Weasel minuses at old Pop Goes the Weasel was 20 seconds. 25% it was 20 seconds. Considering gens were about 80. Now it's a little bit longer because, you know, but 25% of 90 is like, what, 27? But, okay, let's do old Pop with old stats, okay? Pop Goes the Weasel was automatically a 12.5 minus progression. 12.5% time earned. How did I get that number? From 20 seconds. Well, 2.5 seconds was the default time to kick a generator. At default. But, most killers have, like, let's say you hook a survivor right next to a gen, it takes 5 seconds to walk to the gen and kick it. Which means that this is being earnest. This is you having to walk literally 5 seconds to go to a generator. Like, you hook the survivor right next to the generator. It takes around 5 seconds to get there. Which means you're only gaining 12.5 seconds of time. Pop doesn't seem very big now, does it? You still minus that gen by 20, but the net time that you use for time, like, you have to minus the time that you invest into the perk. Compared to, like, Pain Resonance, where Pain Resonance is, like, what, 15? So, if 20 seconds is 25, 15 would probably be 15, maybe 12. I think old Jolt was 12, or like 12 seconds earned, and that was 10%. So 12 to 14%. But that perk just activates no matter, like, you don't have to do anything. You just hook the survivor, and then the perk just works. There's no time investment. Well, Pop, you have to hook the survivor first, then walk and kick the gen. Time investment. You have to, that's what do you think why before I kicked gens with Pop I had downs? That's when I kicked the gen with Pop. Or I have people injured. Time. Because again, there's time investment with Pop Goes the Weasel. You have to invest a lot of time into the perk in order to get the regression. But this is why Pop, in my opinion, is very situational. Pop is not overpowered whatsoever. Because everyone's like, oh, you can activate it 12 times in total. By the 9th time, the game is fucking over. Because that means that at the 9th hook, you kill them. Which means, yeah, Pop is fucking useless. Like, you already won. Like, if that guy dies, and it's like 3 to 2 generators, you win automatically as the killer. Like, Pop did nothing. Pop ain't gonna do anything with the 9th or 12th hook. And, again, time investment is key. It's knowing when to kick a gen. And Pop requires decision making. You have to understand when to kick the gen with Pop. Not, you kick the gen automatically. No. You have to make a critical decision. What's better, going for the chasing play, or going for the down, or going for the kick the gen, then go for the chase. It's decision making. You have to use your brain a bit. You have to understand the situation. How many gens are you at? How many survivors are injured? How many survivors are hooked? Like, there's so many variables. You have to take a decision with Pop. Compared to other anti-gen perks, where everyone just works by themselves passively. There's no perk that has critical thinking like Pop does. Pop Goes the Weasel, in my opinion, was the most balanced perk in the entire game. Because people just misused it. I know everyone combined it with Ruin to, like, have Ruin Pop and everything. But that wasn't, that's not really the people who are using Pop. It's more of the game's design of the devs don't want to, like, First off, Pop is one of the only strongest perks in the game. Like, Pop is actually pretty decent and strong if you know how to use it. Which is why survivors hate it, because good killers know how to use it. That's why a lot of good killers will go to Pop over Ruin. A lot of the time. A lot of good killers run Corrupt Pop. Like, some of the best killers in the game will run Corrupt Pop. Because, one, Pop is more consistent. It's always consistent. And two, it requires more of a brain. So they know when to kick that gen for Pop. They know how to get a situation to get the most value out of the perk. So that's why survivors find it annoying. Because good killers know how to do that. Compared to Ruin, where Ruin just carried you for no reason. Ruin Undying just carried you. And there wasn't other anti-gen perks in the game back then. Like, Overcharge wasn't buffed to its current state. Or Call of Brine didn't exist. Or Jolt wasn't as strong as it is now. Again, the meta of the game has shifted. Eruption wasn't good. Pot was really the only perk that combined to Ruin. And people used a combo with Ruin, so you still had Pop as a backup. Again, that's more of the devs not making perk limits of how many anti-slowdown perks you can have in a build. But it also is the meta of the game, because, you know, killers kind of have to run 4 slowdowns in order to actually win in high rank play. Which isn't really the killer's fault, it's more of the game design, but because at high rank it's almost impossible. If you're against a very efficient team, efficient teams with like good toolboxes and crap can get gens under 4 minutes. Why I think a lot of people run Corrupt, because Corrupt does help with that. But again, a lot of OG good killers who play in a more casual way, they always run Corrupt Pop. Even on killers like Spirit or Pyramid Head or killers like the Twins. Why? Because they run those perks because Corrupt is more consistent. That's why Corrupt was so powerful. It's an early game slowdown perk that's consistent. For the most part. I mean, there are some times where it's not consistent, but it's very rare. Like, it's like 1 out of like 20 games you'll have Corrupt not do anything. Most of the time, Corrupt gets a lot of value. Even with its nerf state. And the same thing with Pop. There's very few games where Pop won't be useful. There's always a situation where Pop might come in handy. And be like, it's good to have it as a backup. I always ran it on Billy too. And even on Blight. I'd run Pop only Pop, as my one anti-gen perk. Because I would use it as a backup. I play an aggressive playstyle for both killers. I just go for chases. However, sometimes I do need to kick a gen occasionally. That's when I run Pop. It's for that situation where I need to kick a gen. Then I have Pop as a backup. Like, let's say the survivors start cranking out gens too fast, or there's like a 3-gen. I have Pop for that 3-gen. Or basically, if there's a gen that I need to stop getting done, I have Pop to do it. Like, as a backup. But if I am winning the game like heavily, then I won't really use the perk. Since the game is so involved that you need anti-gen perks, I always run Pop. And I still do, even with nerf state. Because I think it's still decent. It's not amazing, but it's still decent. But anyway, I hope that includes this for this video. I hope you guys are watching. I'll catch you next time, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, guys, and take care. And good job, twins. You guys did great. Jeez.